In this video, we're going to show you how SecuPi data security platform can solve the data entitlement problem for data sources and Tableau extracts. Let's see what the challenges are. So the security challenges using Tableau are a variety of challenges. The first one is understanding who's the original identity accessing the sensitive data. Differently, when you do SaaS, you don't really know who's the original user asking for that data. Then the problem is, how do we apply security policies consistently regardless of the data source? So it doesn't matter if you getting access from a Azure SQL or an Oracle or a Snowflake or a Databricks, the security policies should be the same. The second one is how to apply consistent policies when you're doing direct query or when you're getting data from the extract. So it should behave the same. In reality, it behaves differently. So we'll show you how SecuPi can make that work the same. The third one is, how do we make sure that we have consistent policies regardless of the versions of the Tableau you're using? So it doesn't matter if you're using Tableau Desktop, Tableau Server, or Tableau SaaS, it should behave the same. And last but not least, we want to see the same events collected. Doesn't matter, again, if you're going through Tableau SaaS, Server, Desktop, if you're doing direct queries or queries from an extract, or if you are going to a different data source, but it doesn't matter if it's Snowflake in the cloud or Oracle on-prem. So how we do it with Tableau. So first, when you use Tableau Desktop, we have an enforcer that would look at your data source and would make sure those policies are working the same. When you use Tableau Server or online, we can use OAuth to make sure that we know who the user is and that identity is going to distribute using the OAuth protocol to all the way through the data source. And lastly, when you use SaaS, we want to see when you're doing direct queries, that would work through our enforcers and gateway. But when you use Tableau Extract, which is an import of the data from the data source, we want to do row-level security with service level accounts, and we want to do column level security with encrypted data. And then when you extract it, we are going to decrypting using an analytical extension calling our REST API. So let's see how it looks in a diagram. So on the top here, you see the SecuPi management server, which will have the policies about who can see what type of data and in what format. So who can see encrypted data, and we're talking about format preserving encryption. So an email would look like an email, but it would be encrypted email. And who is going to see clear text data, and who's going to see generic mask data or generalized data. So that's happening here. How do we know who the users are? We are bringing attributes from the data, from the identity sources, such as identity management or HR systems or anything like that. And how do we know about the data? We can scan it ourselves with SecuPi, or we can connect to one of our partners in terms of data catalog and data discovery. Once that happens, the policies are being enforced the uh, within the enforcer. So we have a driver for the bridge if you're using Tableau SaaS, or if you're using a Tableau server, Tableau desktop, those drivers can be enforced with our driver enforcer, or you can use one of our gateways to connect to, let's say, a Snowflake, for example, or a Postgres or Redshift, and then we would enforce those policies for direct queries within the gateway. But when you use a service account to create an extract, you would import encrypted data, which will sit here in the Tableau extract. And when someone is going to Tableau SaaS to use the extract, data in extract, you will use an analytical extension to do a web API call to our web service API to decrypt the data. When you call that out, we will see the username, we will see the field that you're trying to decrypt, and then we'll make a decision if we're going to decrypt it. And of course, that will be in bulk, so you'll be able to see that. Okay, so now that we understand the the architecture, let's go and see a demo. So let's refresh here just to show that this is all encrypted data, encrypted at rest. So the data of the Tableau extract is encrypted at rest because we used a user in the enforcer to pull data that is encrypted. Now we're going to change the policy in SecuPi. So we're enabling a policy for users that, for roles that are Tableau to show the data in clear text. Once the policy is active, if you'll refresh the data in Tableau, it's now doing callouts, and therefore the data is now in the clear. Same data is now in the clear. Email isn't clear, real name isn't clear, real department isn't clear, and on the right-hand side, real email are in clear. Let's see how we see it in SecuPi. So within SecuPi, if we'll go to dashboard, we can see who asked to make it in the clear. So we saw it a few seconds ago, username asked to decrypt the data. Let's click the blue button. And here we see that we rewritten the email address, which means we decrypted the email with format preserving encryption, and we can even see sample data of that. And we can see that we used a Tableau analytical extension. So this is nice. So let's see how this is done in Tableau. How did we call that analytical extension? So if we click on edit in Tableau, we'll be able to see that specific dashboard that was built for this demo. And if we look at the field, real email, the field is actually calling a web service. The web service says decrypt from public customer CS enc3. The column is email. We are sending the username. That's how we know if we should decrypt or not. And the attribute, which is the field for email. This is how every field is being called to decryption in bulk.